In the last 5 years, we've really become the leading evangelists of this concept that we call the subscription economy. And it's really this idea that as consumers, right, other people or in our roles in businesses, we're finding ourselves buying less and less of what we need, and we're subscribing to services more and more. I think the media industry really didn't view their customers as their readers. They view the customers as the appetizers, and there was this Chinese wall between creating newspaper or news as content, as that was your product that you were creating, and there would be some other way of monetizing. And what we see now is a recognition that no, the consumers of your content are your customers, and they're the ones that you have an ongoing relationship with. This idea of not looking at your business as a product business, but as a customer-oriented business, that's a really profound change in how to think. And a great example of that is going to be this transition from desktop to mobile. When you think of your product as the newspaper, and you say, I created this print newspaper that's in a newsstand, and that's one product. Well, I also created a web experience, so that's another product. Well, I also have this tablet experience over here, and it's a third product. You're forgetting the customer in this. You're seeing these things as distinct products. Well, your customers don't see it that way. Your customers have a relationship with the Times. They have a relationship with the Guardian. They have a relationship with the Wall Street Journal. And they want to consume the content in whatever form is convenient for them at that point in time. And so I'll give you a good example. News International is a company that we've been working with here in London. And they used to have a very product-oriented view. And so they used to have 3 or 4 newspapers, and they would create different versions of the product, right, print, online, and they would have different price points. And they would count how many units they would ship across these different price points. And they said, no, we have a single customer base. We have millions of customers here in the UK, and it doesn't really matter to us which products they purchase, or which publications. It doesn't matter to them which medium they're consuming it under. And so the problem is that they had different systems to track all these different customers across all these different products. And they said, that's not really going to work anymore. We're going to bring it all in-house. We're going to build a single customer database. So everybody shows up in our customer database once. We're going to know their email ID. We're going to have their credit card on file, their direct debit number on file. And then we're going to cross-sell and upsell different products. Yeah, so there is this whole thing out there that says the internet makes everything a commodity, news becomes a commodity, you can get all this news free, so why would people pay for it? If you look at the technology industry, a really common technique that has come about in the last few years is a freemium model, where you offer a product for free, you expect 90% of your customer base perhaps to use that product for free, but 10% of them will actually pay, and the amount of revenue that you generate from that 10% actually covers all your costs. The lesson really is to start thinking about your customers, knowing who they are, having a dialogue with them, and building a relationship with them, and learning from that two-way relationship. People think about their relationship with a trusted brand. Right? I trust the New York Times as a person who grew up in New York and who read the New York Times. I've got a trusted relationship with the New York Times. And yes, I can get articles elsewhere, but I also want the New York Times' filter sometimes around what I do. And it's a valuable relationship to me, and wherever I move, I'm going to wind up being a New York Times subscriber. And that's how you have to think. You have to think about what is the brand relationship with the customer, and what they're really getting out of it. And it's not just a headline that they can get other places, but it's a point of view, it's a relationship, right? That's really the way to think. So we talk about the concept of paywall 2.0. And the whole concept of paywall 2.0 is different from paywall 1.0. Is don't think about it as just a paywall. Don't think about it as just a toll booth for you to make money. Think about it as an ongoing dialogue with your customers, and allow your paywall to stretch and go to where your customers really want to go.